Hey y'all, so we are continuing on with my makeup inventory. Today we are going to be doing highlighters. Yes. I feel like I took a break from filming these and now we're like down to the wire with moving, so sorry. I'm not gonna apologize for not wearing makeup because I hate when people do that, but like I really wanted to be wearing some of the products that I talk about, but I'm not. Just like we're moving in like 3 days. So down to the wire. I've already accepted that I'm gonna have to finish my makeup inventory videos in the new place. So yeah, I don't know. I was like really gung-ho and then I wasn't. So that's just where we are. But yeah, if you wanna see all of my highlighters and my collection, just keep watching. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I put all my highlighters in this bag just because I've been packing. So while I was packing, I just wanted to kind of group together the stuff that I still need to do a video on. So these are my highlighters. Let's go ahead and start with this one. That's just going to be in the background. So the first highlighter that I have is from the Lion King collection. Do y'all remember when this came out? It was when, oh, y'all can kind of not really see. Hey, it was when the real, like the real movie, not the real movie, but the live feature came out. And if you don't know, I'm so obsessed with the Lion King. I wanted to grow up to be a lion. I had like 7 Simbas growing up, so I'm super obsessed with the Lion King. I'm not gonna swatch every single one of these, but I will swatch this one just because I don't really use this one, just because it is like, it's straight up gold and it's a little bit dark for me, but I love it, and I love the packaging. Sorry that my camera's like reflecting it. It's so beautiful. So, sorry, I shook the camera. There's a swatch. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little dark on me, so I kind of just keep it because I freaking love the Lion King. So that's my first highlighter. The next highlighter, sorry, you can see all the reflections. This is the Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder in the shade 01. Man, I was like obsessed with this highlighter for a good while. I don't know if you can tell, but it's dome shaped. And I feel like I've actually used a decent amount. Again, you probably can't tell, but I want to say it was like way taller. But this one is absolutely stunning. It does not emphasize texture at all, and I feel like when I tried it for the first time, honestly this was years ago, I was just like, wow, that's what a highlighter is supposed to be. I feel like it just smooths on your skin and it does not emphasize texture. I don't know, I can't say that enough. So again, this is one that I haven't used in a while because it is kind of old. I'll swatch it. I'm not gonna swatch every single one, but I don't even know if y'all can tell. Just that powder is so, I don't even know if it's in focus. Also, my nails are gross. The powder is just so smooth, and it's called a matte radiance powder. And I feel like that's a good name for it because it doesn't look shimmery when you swatch it, and it doesn't look like, I don't know, it doesn't look like it's gonna make your cheeks gleam, but it just provides this beautiful, beautiful glow. I feel like when I first wore this, it was like a glow from within, but slightly more intense. But yeah, I actually need to use this highlighter more because I really do love it. And again, it's the Laura Mercier Matte Radiance, and it's in the shade 01. The next one, oh my gosh, it's the Hourglass Absolute Strobe Light. Oh wait, no, it's the ambient lighting, I guess, line, but it's their strobe lights. And this one, I feel, sorry, I don't even know a good angle for this. I feel like this one is definitely nice. Since it is the strobe powder, it's way, way more intense than their ambient lighting powders. And I feel like this can be slightly too intense for me at times. I have used this over and over. I used it in the inner corner, on my nose, on my cheeks, and while it's not as intense as like the Jaclyn Cosmetics one, it is pretty intense. So I will wear these on my own, but it can be a little intense, so I just have to make sure I use a light hand. I don't have to layer it with ambient lighting powder to make it look nice on the skin, because it does look nice on the skin. It just gives you more of a pop highlighter, if that makes sense. I'll go ahead and swatch. I'll swatch one. This one isn't that old. And I don't know if you can tell, it's definitely more gleam and glowy than the Matte Radiance. Like, I think you can tell, again, sorry, I'm like shaking the camera. This one is obviously more glowy than this one. So these are nice highlighters. They're intense, so if you like intense, you'll like them. But while they are intense, they don't emphasize texture, in my opinion. I'm sure they do on some people, and I actually have pretty textured skin, and I don't notice it emphasizing texture. So I still like these. Again, they're just slightly too intense, but they're still super pretty. And the way I use it is I really just sweep my brush across all three, and I just mix them, and then I just use that. But yeah, this is the Hourglass Strobe Highlight Palette. Okay, I'm just reaching into the box. The next one, okay, can y'all even like accept this? This is from ColourPop. It's called Big Tough Girl, but this is Meg. Okay, I've heard people call her different things. I call her Megara, but I have heard people call her Megara, and I don't know how it's pronounced, but I feel like in Hercules, he calls her Megara, but I don't know. I was obsessed with Hercules. Actually, I still am. We have Disney Plus and I watch it all the time. I love Meg and I love Hercules. Okay, side note, I know, here, let me open it and show y'all. Actually, hold on, let me just tell this story really quick. Really quick, in 2014, I did the Disney Marathon, and it was like at mile 20 or 22 or something like comically stupid. And they started playing Hercules, I Can Go the Distance, and it gave my sister and I the extra boost we needed. Obviously, we were like walking the whole time at that point, but like, I don't know, I love Hercules. But anyway, this is a like lavender highlight. I feel like you can kind of tell when I go like this. To be honest, I've never used it on my face, so let's just go ahead and swatch it since I've never used it. I just wanted it. I feel like I need more. I just wanted it because it was Meg, and I'm like obsessed with Hercules. Okay, there it is, and I'm just gonna swatch it up here. So yeah, it definitely is purple, and I'm sorry, these aren't great swatches. I always apologize in these. But yeah, so it's definitely purple. I feel like this would be really fun. It'd just be like a fun twist on a highlight. I don't really wear highlighters that are duochrome or like iridescent, but I do think that they're beautiful. So I want to keep this. And again, I really only got it because it's Meg. But yeah, that is my ColourPop, what is it? Big Tough Girl highlight. And oh my gosh, freaking... the muses in Hercules are like perfect, and the music, and it's just, y'all, seriously, Hercules is best. Okay, this one is probably my go-to highlighter right now. This is the Natasha Denona Super Glow, and it's in the shade, oh, is it in the shade Super Glow? I guess it is. Yeah, so this one's like my go-to currently. I'm not gonna swatch it because I do use this one on my face a lot. Should I just do it? Should I just do it? Okay, let me use a different finger. I'll use this one. And again, my stupid little baby swatch. This one I like, and it is pretty intense. So it's intense, but again, it does not emphasize my texture like some other ones. It's right here. It's definitely glowy, and see what I mean? Like, you can tell that's where I swatched it, so I'll just make sure to use it from here. But I feel like it's a nice color. Does it really not have the shade name? Oh, just kidding. This is the shade Light Medium. Oh, y'all can't see, sorry. I don't know if it's focusing, but it says it right here. This is the shade Light Medium. So yeah, currently this is my go-to. It brightens up my face. It's a nice color. It doesn't emphasize lines texture. And a little bit goes a long way. So I love this one. It is a very smooth formula. There's no chunky glitter. And I don't know, it's pretty flattering. This is really my go-to currently. So the Natasha Denona Super Glow in 02 Light Medium. Whoa, okay. First of all, remember, it was 2019, it had to have been 2019, and like, the Game of Thrones. Was it season 8? I don't know. Do y'all remember Game of Thrones? Freaking loved it. I feel like it was just a highlight of my 2019 was like every week watching each episode in season 8, and then let's just like forget about the entire series finale. But yeah, this is the Game of Thrones Mother of Dragons highlight palette, and I really do love the packaging. Hello. The actual highlighters themselves, I don't know if you can tell, I haven't really used them. I'll just go ahead and swatch them because again, I don't really use this one on my face. So we have one that's pink, one that's gold, and one that's a little bit tan. And again, sorry if it's not focusing. They feel a little, not chunky as in chunky glitter, but they seem like they have a lot of fallout. So I don't really know where I have room. Okay, that's the pink one. This is gold, and then this is the bronze. So I didn't swatch them like in a line. I swatched them diagonally just because I didn't think I had room. So the pink, the gold, and the tan. I feel like, sorry, I'm like wiping my hands, or my fingers. I feel like when I was using this, when the whole Urban Decay collection came out, which I bought the whole thing because I was obsessed, the highlight wasn't my favorite. Every time I used it, I just feel like these weren't the right colors for my skin tone. I'm sure they look great on other people, but I think I like more of a champagne-y highlighter anyway. And the textures of this, I mean, the texture of these highlighters, I don't know. I just feel like on the skin, they didn't wow me. And again, maybe that was because of the color and I wasn't really impressed in the first place, but I don't know. This formula isn't my favorite. Even though it's not chunky glitter, like I said, it's still almost like a thick, almost like heavy powder. I don't know. It's hard for me to describe, and I keep saying I don't know, which is probably super annoying, but yeah, I honestly am just keeping this because it's Game of Thrones. But I love the names. We have Drogon, Viserion, and Ray. Is that how you pronounce it? Rhaegal? I definitely know Drogon. I definitely know Viserion. Rhaegal. Yeah. Oh, this makes me like miss Game of Thrones so much. Just like, I don't know, remember just bonding and like the freaking just like, I don't even know if it was memes back then, but just, I don't know, like discussing on the internet like the day after or the night after the episode premiere. So good. But yeah, again, I'm only keeping this because it's Game of Thrones and I don't really use it. I could probably use these as eyeshadows, but when we get to my eyeshadow video, I already have like tons and tons and tons. But yeah, again, keeping this only because it's Game of Thrones. One is super old. This is the Smashbox Spotlight palette, Pearl palette Illuminatrix. I don't know. This one I feel like was the Casey Holmes collab from like years ago. And as you can see, I actually used the crap out of this. I feel like, I don't remember how long ago this came out, but when it did, this was my go-to highlighter for, I don't know if it was for years, but it was easily for months, if not longer, which again says a lot about me because, or not says a lot about me, but it says a lot about the product because I have so much makeup that I don't, you know, typically use a ton of products or go through them. I'm not saying I went through this, but like I really did use this a ton. I feel like this formula, oh my gosh, this was another formula that never ever emphasized texture on my skin, which that's kind of what I look for in highlighters just because my skin is textured. So when I highlight, I don't want it to be like, you know, just sitting on the skin, if that makes sense. Anyway, I freaking loved this highlighter so much. Clearly the middle shade is the one I use the most. I would mix the front two sometimes. I feel like the front one was a little too light to wear on its own, so I'd wear it more as an inner corner. But yeah, I really, really liked this. I'm sure they discontinued it or got rid of it, but this was my go-to for so long. I should actually get rid of this because it's so old, but I don't know. I haven't, and I don't know if I'm gonna dip into it, but I really did like it. So, I mean, I can swatch it since, oh, I did that backwards. Okay. So this is the first shade, this is the second shade, and this is the third shade. So again, I don't know if you can tell, these ones feel way more smooth than the Urban Decay ones. So there's the first one, there's the second one, And there's the last one. I feel like these just, oh man, these were really freaking good. They glided on the skin. They didn't emphasize texture, and yeah, it was cool packaging too. I feel like the mirror is good quality, but honestly, I haven't used this in years because it got a little bit old. But that was the Smashbox Trio palette, and I'm pretty sure it's the Casey Holmes one, if I'm remembering correct. But yeah, this was from years ago, and I loved this one so much. Ooh, okay. Let's do this one. So I talked about this one briefly in my, what was it? It was like the beauty tag or the questions beauty edition or something. This is the Jaclyn Cosmetics, the Flash palette. Oh my gosh. And okay, this one I was saying is an overrated product, and I still stand behind that because I remember when I first used it, these emphasize texture. In my opinion, they completely emphasize texture. And so I was turned off by that initially. And then on top of that, even though like this shade looks dark, I feel like every shade I put on my face was way too light for me. And again, that's probably my fault because I bought the lighter one and not the darker one, but I feel like the darker one looked too dark for me. So I don't know. So anyways, that being said, when I first tried it, all of these shades were too light, like way too light, and then it emphasized texture, so I didn't like it. I actually had to use my ambient lighting face powder, or the ambient lighting palette, not the strobing one, but the original one, like as a first highlight, and then I would put this one on top, and it looked way better. So I feel like this on my bare like cheek skin just didn't look good. Also, these are so intense. Which there's a time and a place for sure, but these are a little too intense for me. So like I just mentioned, I don't want to talk about this too long. I use these as inner corner highlights, and they are gorgeous, absolutely stunning as inner corner highlights. So I love them for that. I just feel like, hey, you can see me, boop. I just feel like on the skin, on my cheek, I mean, it emphasizes my texture, and it's just so like, these like pull silver on me. I don't know, it's super weird. So yeah, I'm not gonna swatch these because I still do use these on my eyes, and y'all know how I feel about, like, I say it in every like makeup video, but y'all know how I feel about digging my finger into products, face products specifically. But yeah, that's the Jaclyn Cosmetics. I'm still gonna use this. I feel like the packaging is really great. It's sturdy, the mirror is great, but again, I'm just gonna use these as inner corner highlights. Okay, the next powder highlighter that I have is Benefit Cookie. Side note, I love the packaging. It's super cute, and I love the name. Now, I also talked about this highlighter in my beauty question video. This is another one that's way too intense on my skin, and it's too light, and I don't want to say it's, I guess light is the right word. I do like bright highlighters because it's supposed to like highlight your features. So this is very bright, but again, this is another one that pulls like silvery on me. So yeah, I don't like it for that. But again, this is a stunning inner corner highlight. Now, I will say this one doesn't emphasize my texture as much as the Jaclyn Cosmetics one. So it's better in that regard for me, but still the same like white silvery color. But for the inner corner, this is so beautiful. And I feel like on the inner corner, it doesn't even look silver. It just looks really brightening. So if I haven't already, I will insert a clip of the makeup I did kind of recently. And I was wearing this in the inner corner, and it was just so beautiful. So and then also, can we just talk about this inner corner highlight? It's Cookie. Like I always use this for an inner corner highlight if I'm using this, but I've used it for the past couple times I've done my makeup, and it's just so good. So I know I mentioned it in my overrated makeup, and sorry, let me try and, it's overrated for sure as a face highlighter, but as an inner corner highlight, like, it's so pretty. Okay, I just thought I would toss that in somewhere. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I want to get better at just showing makeup that I've done, just so you can see what certain products look like on my face. Okay, bye. This is the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter. I don't know what it's called. Sorry. This one, wow. This was my go-to for forever too. So I feel like my first go-to for a while was the Trio from Smashbox. My next go-to was this one. I use the crap out of this one. This highlighter is like a baked gelée formula, and it looks so natural on your skin. There's no fallout at all because of the gelée texture. You can see I've used a bunch of it. And I just feel like it's so flattering on your skin. I'll swatch it just because it is old, and even though I reach for this like every time I did my makeup for months and months and months, I branched away from it and I think it just got kind of old. So let me go ahead and swatch it. Again, I have to go in the corner. Oh my goodness. This is so beautiful. I'm just gonna go right here. I love this color too. It's like a light white gold. So it's not as like stark white as like Cookie or one of the ones from the Jaclyn palette, but it is light enough on me that it highlights and brightens up, you know, the highlight spot. That was kind of repetitive, but super pretty. There's there's really like no fallout because of the texture, and I feel like it just melts into your skin. I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like this is my favorite formula, like the gelée of highlighter. And I do have a couple other highlighters and face palettes that, at least one of them is a baked gelée that I'll talk about in my face palette video. But yeah, I love the texture of this and I love the way it looks on the skin. So that's the Anastasia Amrezy, and this one's honestly probably old too, and I probably need to get rid of it. So don't know if I'm going to, but and then my last powder highlight before we get to the liquid and the cream is from Jaclyn Cosmetics as well. This is the shade Balm. And I actually do like the packaging on this. Okay, I'm gonna swatch this one just because I think it's so beautiful. So that's what it looks like. I don't use, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this? Okay, I don't use this on my face. I'm like too scared to use it because I feel you literally just need like that much. I don't use it on my face because I feel like it would be too intense. So here's the color. Sorry, I feel like the lighting's a little like weird in this video, and I'm just gonna swatch it down here. So it's definitely glowy. It's super pretty. Let me try and get more so you can kind of see like the undertone. It's like a peachy gold. Sorry, I keep like hitting the camera. It's like a peachy gold color. And so while I do think, you know, some people can pull this off on their face, I'm sure it looks so beautiful on them. For me, I just have too much texture on my cheeks and my face, and so that's why I'm too scared to use it in that way. What I use this for is an inner corner highlight. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it in frame. I use this as an inner corner highlight, and it is so beautiful. The color is, it's really hard to like capture on camera, but it's like a peachy gold. Like comparing it to the Anastasia one, this is like a white gold. I feel like, at least I can tell, I feel like it's more peachy. So this in the inner corner is stunning. Maybe I should get over myself and try it on my face, but I feel like I did when I first got it like a couple years ago or a year and a half, however long ago, and I feel like it was too intense, but maybe I didn't. I really can't remember. But just by looking at it, I feel like it would just be too intense for my face. And also just loose highlighters in general are a little inconvenient for me to use. I'll use loose powders because I can fit a big enough brush and like put it all over my face, but like this is just a little too complicated, so it's way easier to use it as an inner corner for me. But again, that is the Jaclyn Cosmetics highlighter, loose highlighter in Balm. That one's really pretty for the inner corner as well. Okay, now we are going to be talking about my cream ones and my liquid ones. Let's go ahead and talk about my ColourPop ones. I don't use these very often. This is the Super Shock Cheek and Fire. Here's what it looks like. You know what's so crazy? I tried these twice. The first time I used it with my finger on top of my makeup, and I guess it was okay. The second time I had already set my face with powder and used it with like a brush, and it was awful. Ooh, these are so creamy though. So the second time I'd used it, it ruined my makeup, so I've been scared to use it ever since, but I think it's just because I didn't know how to use it. This is a really beautiful color. I wiped off my hands so it doesn't mix and match, but I don't know if it's like exactly my color. I feel like it's just a little dark for me. It's like a golden color, like an orangey golden. So this is the shade Fire. The texture is really, really, really beautiful, but I just didn't know how to apply it. And again, I got this super Shock cheek product, maybe around the same time as the Super Shock blushes. So before I was even like comfortable using cream products is when I got this. And so yeah, I never use it. And again, I'm just not a fan of like using my finger to apply face makeup. I feel like it's so weird because I feel like I can't be precise with it. Even though it's my finger and I'm literally placing it where I want it to go, it like still doesn't work for me. So I don't really use these because when I got them, I never really knew how. And I still actually, these are my only cream highlighters. I haven't had experience with any other ones. And so unlike blushes, you can just dip your brush in the blush, and just like put on your face. I feel like with highlighters, you have to be a little bit more particular about where you place it. So maybe that's why it's hard for me. This one looks scary because this is the one I used with a brush. Okay, let's go ahead and swatch. They do feel like so creamy. Ew, this is like freaking me out. And, oh wait, sorry. This is the shade On the Cusp. So that is a swatch. Let's put it next to Fire. And yeah, so in comparison, this one is more of a color I would gravitate towards. It is like a really, really, really beautiful champagne. I kind of wish I knew how to use these a little bit better. I feel like maybe if I used a beauty blender, like I could figure out how to use these on my face, but I'm not really a beauty blender person. And so it sounds like I'm like making excuses, but I'm just saying that like knowing myself, I apply makeup with brushes. And so if I have to go out of like the norm of me applying it, I probably won't use it, which, you know, happened to both of these. But yeah, sorry, that was like a super long story for not like for not even like real information, I guess. But again, that's Fire. This is On the Cusp, and they are the Super Shock, sorry, I wasn't even in frame, the Super Shock highlighters. I love the way they feel. I just don't know how to wear them. Okay, and then my last highlighters are liquid highlighters. So I'll just pull this one out. These are from Rare Beauty. I absolutely love the packaging, and the first one is called Outshine. And so I love the packaging. It's like a fat version of the blushes, and it's like a fatter version of the foundation and concealer. But here is what the packaging looks like. Very similar, if not the same, as the blush. You have the doe foot that is kind of like flattened more at an angle than normal. And I don't know if this is true, but it looks like there's a hole or something in the center, and that's where the product pools. But I'll just go ahead and I'll put it here. So this is a cream, this is like a liquid highlighter, but it's not runny. Like, I'm moving my hand, it's not running anywhere. So with these, I also don't think I'm great at using these, because now that I'm doing this right now, I feel like that would be all I needed, and I would either have to take it on my finger or like a dense brush and pack it on my face. What I was doing previously when I tried these, I was putting like a whole dot of product, or like one doe foot full, and I would put like 3 dots on my face, and then I would try and like blend it out, and that was way too much. So I didn't actually, and I don't really like these, because I feel like every time I would apply them, it would just be too much and it would look weird. Also, when we get to the other colors, I feel like out of all 3 of these colors, none of them looked right on my skin. So anyway, this is again Outshine by Rare Beauty. It's the gold one. This one was a little too yellow on my face. Oops. This next one is Mesmerize. I thought this one was gonna be like my go-to. So this is, let me just scoop this up. This is Mesmerized. It's like a tan rose gold. You can definitely see the rosy pinkiness to that. So this is, again, a Mesmerize. I feel like when it goes like this, it's like, wow, it's so reflective, but then, you know, you can kind of tell from this lighting that it's a little dark. So that is Mesmerize. And the last shade I have is Enchant. So these were the first two that I got. And this one was a little too yellow and this one was a little too dark. So I was like, oh, Enchant looks really similar to Mesmerize, but just a little bit lighter. So I got this one. Here's the color. There's the swatch. And let me go ahead and blend. So I feel like out of all three, Enchant would be the one that I went for. And just looking at it right now, like it's so pretty to me right now. And I'm like, ooh, I should wear these again, which I should. But I don't know, what I was saying was, even though this is like a kind of a wide variety of colors, none of them really fit with my skin tone. Like, weirdly, I feel like this one was too pink, so it was light enough and bright enough, but I feel like it was too pink, and so it was just like weird on my skin. This one was too dark, and this one was too yellow. So like, maybe if I mix all three, I don't know if you wanted to see that, but that's all three. Maybe that would like be better. But also I feel like, and I don't know if I'm describing this correctly, but I feel like when these were on my skin and I blended them in, I feel like they looked like they were just sitting on my face instead of melting into the skin. So again, I'm not sure if that makes sense, or I'm not sure if like you understand what I'm saying about that, but to me, I just feel like these were just literally like, it's like it was like a, sorry, let me not stutter. It's like it was a C shape, you know, like in the typical spot where you highlight, like on your cheekbone up to your temple and a little bit towards your brow. Not like, I mean, the end of your brow, obviously. I feel like it was an obvious C shape and it was just sitting there. And I feel like maybe I could have taken a sponge, but I don't use sponges, but it just didn't look right. And like, I feel like I'm really annoying when I'm talking because I don't even know if it's making sense, but I just feel like, I don't know. I was really excited. You know what's crazy? I was excited for a lot of Rare Beauty stuff and I wasn't like super loving everything. So these are a little bit of a disappointment to me. I'm really, you know, embarrassed that I got three and I don't really use them. So I'm thinking I would just have to, I wouldn't mix these with foundation because I feel like that would be too glowy, but maybe I would mix them with like a tint of like a tiny eensy drop of foundation or like concealer and maybe use that to where they don't look so, I don't know. They just look weird on my face. But this is also showing me that I really do need to learn how to use these products and not just write them off. But yeah, these are my highlighters. Let me go ahead and put them back in the box and then I'll count which ones, how much I have. Actually, why don't we just count together? So I have 1, 2, 3 liquid highlighters. I have 1, 2 cream highlighters. I have 1 loose powder highlighter. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, oh my gosh, these are gonna fall. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whoops, 10 powder highlighters. So let me round all this up and then we'll close out this video. Okay, so that was my makeup inventory for my highlighters. Excuse the slight mess, we're moving like I said. So again, to round up, I have 10 powder highlighters, I have 1 loose, 2 cream, and 3 liquid. So in total, that's 10, 16. Is that 16? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh my gosh, I have 16 highlighters. You can kind of tell with swatches too. 16 highlighters. Is that not crazy? Again, I have other highlighters and face palettes, but that will be my face palette video. But yeah, I don't know. It's like I knew I had a lot of makeup, but then when it's like staring at me in front of my face, I'm like, ugh. Cause you know how you just have like urges to go shopping? I don't know, maybe you don't, but like sometimes I'm just like, new makeup, or like I see really pretty things. I really want to try like a certain formula and I'm like, okay, I'm definitely gonna get that. But I feel like breaking it down and seeing everything that I have in every aspect of my makeup kind of like makes me take a hard look in the mirror, the highlighter mirror, and I don't know, it kind of like brings me back. Like, yeah, it would be awesome to try all these formulas, but I already have 16 highlighters. I am not like a makeup YouTuber, so it's not my job to try out all the formulas. So I just need to settle down. But yeah, sorry, this intro was really long. I hope you enjoyed my makeup inventory highlighters, and we'll continue on the train. I think I'm gonna film my makeup palette, my face palettes next. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you found it helpful, and I will see you later.